Hey everyone, good evening, good evening. Welcome to another edition of Pounce Talk Live. I am Montez Sorrells. I am the Pounce Coach. Thank you for tuning in to Tuck Radio's Pounce Talk Live. It is a privilege to be before you, all of our listening audience, both on the internet, both on Facebook Live, and those that are watching us via www.tuckradio.com. It is an honor to be before you with another dose, another edition of Pounce Talk. So, for those that are unaware, we had some unforeseen circumstances that took place on last week, so we weren't able to broadcast. But we are back. We are empowered. We are ready to be impactful on another edition of Pounce Talk Live. Thank you to everyone that is joining us via Facebook Live. Thank you for everyone that is joining us via www.tuckradio.com and all of those that are listening in internet radio land. Listen, we have a wonderful broadcast and segment that we planned for all you all tonight, and we want you guys to be interactive with us. So if there's anything that you find very influential, impactful that you are hearing and listening of tonight, we want you to, those that are on Facebook Live, we want you to drop some comments and questions in the comment section on Facebook Live. Also, we are taking calls tonight. We will be taking calls. If you want to talk live with the Pounce Coach, my name is Montez Sorrells again, the Pounce Coach here at Tuck Radio. You can call us here at the station at area code 513-792-2894. That's area code 513-792-2894. We are heavily excited about all those that are interested in watching us and calling in and participating in the conversation. So before we get into tonight's topic, like I said, we are excited about tonight's topic. We got a few housekeeping things that we definitely want to get out of the way. For all those that have not been aware, we've been promoting this thing since day one, and we're coming down to crunch time. We want to make everybody aware. We want to make everybody aware of the Rojo Production Presents I've Changed stage play. Ladies and gentlemen, this will be taking place via live here in the city of Cincinnati at the Cincinnati Christian University located at 2700 Glenway Avenue. Listen, if you have not gotten your tickets for this wonderful stage play, you are missing out. You need to plan to get your tickets for the I've Changed stage play. Rojo Productions put on some great productions, and Cincinnati's own, and so we want to come out in large numbers to support Cincinnati's own, the I've Changed stage play. We got some heavy hitters that are involved in this play. We've got actress Yo-Yo. We've got Joe Little. We've got David Tolliver. We've got Leandra Johnson, ladies and gentlemen, a phenomenal gospel artist. We have Kelly Kales of Def Jams. And like I said, we also have some Cincinnati actors and actresses that will be featured in this play. Our very own comedian Big Boo Man will be featured in this play. Our very own Lamont Hill will be featured in this play. So listen, this is a wonderful Mother's Day gift. It is a powerful story of 4 women dealing with their hurts, their hangups and habits, and having and making sure that they're embracing healing from the inside out. So listen, if you're looking for something that you want to take your mother to, the mother of your children, your grandmother, your aunts, or any type of woman figure or female figure that has definitely been a mother figure in your life, this is a wonderful play. Now, some of you may say, you know what, I don't need a reason. Mother's Day is not a reason for me to go out to the stage. But listen, if you're looking for a date night, a wonderful event for a date night, for all my couples out there, this is a wonderful event for you to attend. That is, again, the I've Changed stage play presented by Rojo Productions. Okay, so we got that out the way. Once again, my name is Montez Sorrells. I am the Pounce Coach, and this is Pounce Talk Live via Tuck Radio. We want to thank all of our sponsors, all of our people at Pounce Lifestyle LLC, Pounce Clothing Company, where we exist to empower and inspire individuals to pursue their purpose and passions and dreams from an aggressive approach. So we appreciate all of our sponsors and all those that are interested in being mentioned here on Pounce Talk Live. Please reach out to us as we have some sponsorship opportunities available for you. So we did this 2 weeks ago on our latest broadcast. We announced our Pouncer of the Week. What is the Pouncer of the Week? The Pouncer of the Week is an individual or individuals, you never know which angle we're coming from, that that really model the mentality of a pouncer. A pouncer is someone that is dedicated to the process. A pouncer is someone that has made the decision to become intentional about their purposes, about their passions, about their dreams. A pouncer is someone that exhibits resiliency throughout the process of life. A pouncer is an individual that takes initiative as it relates to moving closer to take possession of what they're after. And so I'm constantly, I love interpersonal communication. I love meeting new individuals. I love sitting down and hearing people's stories and hearing people's passions and connecting with people based on where they're going and where they've been and where they're going. And so I'm always observing individuals that are doing some positive things in the community, some positive things in their families, and so forth. So our very first, in history of Pounce Talk Live, our very first Pouncer of the week 2 weeks ago was none other than Miss Taryn Kennebrew, who's doing some amazing things here in the city of Cincinnati. I just was made aware earlier this week that her baking class has been featured on the Food Network, ladies and gentlemen. That is amazing. Cincinnati's own Mrs. Taryn Kennebrew, the owner and the director of Sweet Petite Desserts, located in downtown Cincinnati in the over-the-Rhine part of town. But this week, we have a brand new Pouncer of the Week. This Pouncer of the Week models character. This Pouncer of the Week models great friendship and brotherhood. So that's a key, y'all. That's a clue. This Pouncer is an individual who takes his life very seriously and is always looking to help those that are in need. He is a local pastor here in the city of Cincinnati. He pastors a wonderful ministry who I have the honor to speak at a few times. He loves on the people of God. He loves on the people that he serves in his occupational profession. He is a counselor by profession. He has launched out and pounced and has left one agency, and he has pounced his own dream, and he has opened up his own practice where he counsels individuals and assists individuals as it relates to their mental health and their psycho health and so forth. He is a family man. He is a brother. He's a great husband. He's a great father. He's a great leader, and he's doing some amazing things in the city of Cincinnati. And I just want to pay homage and honor to my brother and friend who is this week's Pouncer of the Week. Ladies and gentlemen, please let's give a round of applause to our Pouncer of the Week, Mr. Michael Johnson. Mr. Michael Johnson, ladies and gentlemen. He is the pastor of the Living Waters Ministries. Wonderful ministry. If you're looking for an excellent church who love Jesus, who love God, who are expressible about their love for God, that is the church you want to go to. But our Pouncer of the Week is none other than Michael Johnson. So those that are connected to him, those that are watching me via Facebook Live, please let him know that the Pounce Coach has paid honor to him tonight. He is my friend. He is my brother, a true friend. He's been loyal to me, and he has been very supportive on my journey of Pounce. And so we appreciate Michael Johnson. We appreciate you, and we salute you, and we thank you for making the decision every day to pounce your purpose, to pounce your dreams, and to also encourage other individuals to pounce and to do and to fulfill purpose as best as possible. So again, we thank you, and we acknowledge Michael Johnson, pastor of the Living Water Ministries, pastor of Living Water Ministries here in the city of Cincinnati, as our Pouncer of the Week. Woohoo! We appreciate you, Michael Johnson. Okay, so let's get right into what we're here and what we're going to talk about and discuss tonight. I said earlier this week on May 1st on my Instagram, those that are following me on Instagram, we appreciate the support. Those that are not following me as of yet, you can follow me on Instagram at the Pounce Coach on Instagram, at the Pounce Coach, as well as at Pounce Lifestyle. But May 1st began a wonderful month of mental health awareness. This is the month of mental health awareness. And so we want to become very intentional as it relates to keeping people aware and conscientious and cautious of their mental health. Listen, there's a lot of stigmas that are centered around mental health, but we want you not only to be physically well, spiritually well, but we also want you to be emotionally and mentally well also. And so I have some stress and resilient tips from the psychological standpoint that will assist you in being resilient and will assist you in being holistically whole and healthy as it relates to mental health. And so we want to, as much as we can for the month of May, while we're coming on our broadcast, we want to make you all aware of some different tips and different things that you can do to practice great mental health. So Dr. Dennis Charney, one of the world's most leading experts in neurobiology and treatment of anxiety and depression disorders, he has some 10 critical psychological elements and characteristics of resilience that include, number one, optimism. Optimism. Those who are extremely optimistic tend to show greater resilience, which has implications for cognitive therapies that enhance a patient's positive view of his or her options, thereby increasing optimism. So we encourage you to pounce optimism. We encourage you to pounce throughout this month of mental health awareness. We encourage you to pounce positive attitudes and positive mindsets, because as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So keep that in mind. One of the other things that he talks about is having a moral compass, or a set of beliefs that cannot be shattered. Ladies and gentlemen, it is very important in this time of day to practice great morals, to practice great character. And so we encourage you to pounce any opportunity here in your lifetime to model great morals and great character. Ladies and gentlemen, some doors, talent can get you through the doors, but character keeps you in the room. Gifts and talents can get you through some doors, but character and great morals can keep you in the room, ladies and gentlemen. So please remember that as you're going throughout the month of May, and as you're thinking about great mental health, remember, having a moral compass can assist you in that. And one last thing we want to bring to your attention, you got to laugh, ladies and gentlemen. As you go throughout, as you think about great mental health, you've got to remember that laughter is a medicine. Laughter is great medicine. So surround yourselves around some opportunities that you can laugh and laugh uncontrollably, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, there's a lot of negative things that are going on around us that can easily make us feel depressed, that can easily make us feel downtrodden, but you owe it to yourself, you owe it to your loved ones, you owe it to your family to really, 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 really enjoy your life. And one of the ways you can enjoy life and enhance your mental health is laughing more. So listen, put a smile on your face and make a decision, even on tonight and Friday and even through the weekend, that you're going to laugh uncontrollably, and you're going to do it cheerfully, ladies and gentlemen. So those are just a few critical things and elements that you can put in practice that will enhance your mental health. And like I said, May is the month of mental health awareness, and so every time we are live and we're doing a broadcast, we're going to also bring to your attention those different things that you can do to live a holistic and a great mental health lifestyle. So again, we thank you for joining us again for Pounce Talk Live. Tonight, we want to get into the meat and the potatoes of what we're here tonight for. Listen, this is called Pounce Talk Live, and we discovered that pounce, by definition, pounce means to spring forward in an attempt to take possession of something or someone. And ladies and gentlemen, what I come to find out is there's an element of pounce that can be found in everything that we do, ladies and gentlemen, from waking up every day to get to work, from loving on our spouses, for making ourselves better spouses, for loving on our children, for making decisions to get serious about our mental health and get serious about our physical health. There's an element of pounce, there's an element of intentionality and initiative that can be found in what we're doing and what we call pounce. So tonight we got some great stuff, and those that are interested in engaging in the conversation with us, you can join us by doing that via Facebook Live. If you have a comment or a question, please drop your question or your comment down on the comment section in Facebook. Also, you can call and chat live with the Pounce Coach. You can call us here at the station at 513-792-2894. That's 513-792-2894. So tonight, we're going to present to everyone the 4 dimensions of pounce. The 4 dimensions of pounce. Those that are still watching me via Facebook Live, go ahead and drop that down in the comment section. The 4 dimensions of pounce. The 4 dimensions of pounce. So the first dimension of pounce that we want to jump into real quick is identification. The first dimension of pounce is identification. Identification speaks to seeing. Identification speaks to visualizing. I want to ask you a question tonight as we jump down into this topic tonight. The 4 dimensions of Pounce is what we're discussing. What is it you are attempting to capture? When you think about what a lion does in the wilderness and what he's trying to accomplish and going after the antelope, he has to understand and he has to have a mentality already, and he has to be aware of what he's attempting to capture. What do you have your eyes on? What is your vision set out to do? What is your sight set out to see, ladies and gentlemen? What are you attempting to accomplish? See, what you have to be able and put yourself in a position to see what you're attempting to capture and to see what you're after. A lot of times we're unable and we're unsuccessful in pouncing from a life standpoint because we don't have clear vision, ladies and gentlemen. We don't have a clear, what should I say? A clear idea or clear image, thank you, a clear image of what we're trying to capture. I am a full proponent and I endorse the word that says, without a vision, the people perish. And so for those that lead families, for those that lead great groups of people, for those that lead young people, for those that lead a troop of individuals, you have to understand that if you do not have a vision, then you have nowhere to lead individuals. You have nowhere to lead yourself, so to speak. And so identification is the first dimension of Pounce. You have to be able and you have to put yourself in a position to see what you capture. Think about it from an animalistic standpoint. Listen, you never see a lion going after air. You always see a lion visualizing, seeing, even though he may be 50 to 60 to 100 yards away from his prey. He has clear vision of what he's going after. What do you have clear vision of today as it relates to your dreams, as it relates to your purpose, as it relates to fulfilling your purpose? What do you have clear vision or clear sight of? Ladies and gentlemen, a lot of us are walking around to and fro confused because we really haven't made the proper investment in really identifying and visualizing what we're after. And so we have to take into consideration the first dimension of Pounce, which is identification. You've got to keep your eyes on what you're pursuing, because if you take your eyes off of it, a mere second can cost you your catch. A mere second of distraction could cost you your capture, ladies and gentlemen. When you allow yourself to become distracted and to take your eyes off of focus and take your focus off of what you are visualizing for yourself, what you are going after, you may have cost yourself the ability to pounce on what you are after, ladies and gentlemen, because I am a believer and everybody's not, and that's okay. But I always reference that scripture where Jesus calls Peter out of the boat. And the moment he steps out of the boat and begins to keep his eyes on Jesus, he walks on water. But the moment he takes his eyes off of him, he begins to sink. And that's a lot of us. That's a lot of us as it relates to our dreams, and that's a lot of us as it relates to our visions. When the moment we take our eyes and our focus off of what we are intentionally supposed to be focused on, that's when we begin to sink. That's when our dreams begin to sink. That's when our visions begin to sink. That's when our passions begin to sink. And so I am encouraging you. I'm admonishing you. I am imploring you to, and I'm beseeching you, so to speak, to really get focused and to keep your eyes on what you're pursuing. So as we get into the meat of this thing, we got to remember that we have to identify exactly what we're wanting to possess. Listen, I think it's very easy for us to want a lot of things all at the same time, but we got to narrow down what we're going after, and we've got to prioritize, ladies and gentlemen. We've got to narrow down what we're going after, and we have to prioritize. Listen, this is why, because opportunity doesn't knock. Opportunity does not knock. What does it do? It presents itself. Opportunity does not knock. It presents itself, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of us are waiting for opportunity to knock on our doors. But ladies and gentlemen, when you get really serious about identifying what your vision is and identifying your purpose and your passion and your dreams, that's when we will see. That's when we'll see opportunity present itself to us and pay us a visit, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, opportunity does not visit lazy people. I'm going to let that sink in for you, for those that are on here. Opportunity does not visit lazy individuals, ladies and gentlemen. We've got to become intentional. I spoke to you guys 2 weeks ago that Pounce takes aggressiveness. You got to become aggressive as it relates to your life and as it relates to your goals. You can't say that you want to become a better man and you're lazy at the process of becoming a better man. You can't say you want to become healthier and you're lazy throughout the process of becoming non-lazy and becoming more health conscious and becoming more stronger and becoming more intentional in life and intentional about fitness and so to speak and nutrition. Laziness is an enemy to pouncers. Laziness is an enemy to opportunity, okay? And so you got to remember that, and you got to keep that at the forefront of your mind. And you cannot allow laziness to strip you from the opportunity of pouncing your purpose, pouncing your goals, and pouncing opportunities. Because why? Because opportunity doesn't knock. It presents itself. Opportunity presents itself. For those that are online, please drop that down in the comment section. Opportunity doesn't knock. It presents itself, ladies and gentlemen. Those that want to engage in the conversation here with me, with the Pounce Coach, you are more than welcome to give us a call here at the station. The number is 513-792-2894. So again, opportunity doesn't knock, it presents itself. And you have to be willing, we all as pouncers have to be willing to see and acknowledge the opportunity and move accordingly, ladies and gentlemen. You just can't see it, but you got to be willing to move accordingly. And we also have to be careful not to pull the shades down any windows of opportunity. Listen, you gotta be aware, ladies and gentlemen, that opportunity doesn't present itself to anyone, and opportunity just doesn't come every day. And just because we wanted to come, you've got to be willing to put in the work, and you got to be looking for opportunity because it's coming. But you got to stay busy before opportunity presents itself. You got to stay busy. You got to remain steadfast. You got to remain unmovable. You got to remain productive before opportunity comes to see you, ladies and gentlemen. But I rest assure you that opportunity is coming to pay you a visit. So the first dimension of Pounce is identification, seeing and visualizing the capture, seeing and visualizing what you're after. The second dimension of Pounce, ladies and gentlemen, the second dimension of Pounce, once you have identified what you're going after, once you have identified your purpose and you have found some connectivity to the things that really get your passions going, really ignite you, ladies and gentlemen, then you must do step number 2. You must introduce yourself to dimension number 2 of Pounce, and that component is education. So there's identification, then there's education. Education, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, pouncing effectively requires knowing or being knowledgeable about what you're pursuing. You can't say you want to be a firefighter and just wake up and walk into a fire station and start hanging out with other firefighters and then, and then fighting fires. No, it doesn't happen like that. You've got to put yourself in a position to educate yourself, to become knowledgeable of the thing that you're going after. You can't wake up and say, I want to get serious about my health and think that, that you're just going to go at this thing just without any knowledge or just without any wisdom or just without any plan put in place, ladies and gentlemen. So you've got to embrace education, knowing or being knowledgeable about what you're pursuing. You want to get out there, you got gifts, you got talents. Let's say you want to be an actor, or you want to become an actress. Ladies and gentlemen, I endorse and I encourage you to educate yourself on what you want to do. Listen, I just didn't wake up one day and say I want to do radio. Now I knew the gift was in me, I knew the talent was in me, but I know for me to be successful and for me to be impactful and effective in that thing that I believe God has planted in me, I have to be willing to be taught and groomed and educate myself and surround myself around opportunities that enhance and grow that gift, ladies and gentlemen. And that comes through education. That comes through exposure, ladies and gentlemen. What is your present knowledge or understanding about what you're after? I guarantee you when a lion is going after an antelope, ladies and gentlemen, he has an idea of how fast or what kind of position he needs to be put in place to give him a better chance in catching that antelope, because he has educated himself. As the king of the jungle, he has educated himself on what he needs to do and what kind of position he needs to be in for him to be successful in pouncing his prey. And ladies and gentlemen, that same mentality has to be exercised in what we do on a day-to-day basis, ladies and gentlemen. You listen, you may want to say, I want to be a doctor one day. When that's great, and it's great to have a vision. You've identified your passion, you've identified your goals, you've identified the thing that gets you going, you've identified the thing that that you feel that will help you and assist you in pursuing purpose. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it just doesn't stop there. You've got to be willing to educate yourself. What is your present knowledge or understanding about what you're after? You have to be willing to embrace, you're gonna hear me say this word a lot, ladies and gentlemen. But you got to be willing to embrace a posture, ladies and gentlemen. I said posture of education and research to be successful and prosperous at what you're after, ladies and gentlemen. I said it all the time. Listen. I'm gonna go back to this all the time. Faith without works is dead. Faith without works is dead. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, it is not. Listen, you got to do it in faith. You got to do it in faith. Listen, faith is fuel to the fire, ladies and gentlemen. You got to do it in faith. But listen, even in believing, and even from moving from believing to knowing that it's going to happen and that you're going to shift, you've got to be willing to put in some work, ladies and gentlemen. I cannot tell you. Think about it like this. Think about Harriet Tubman. She knew freedom. She believed in freedom. She saw freedom. She visualized freedom. But she understood that it was going to take some intentionality and it was going to take some work for her to move beyond the visualization of the dream and the identification of the dream to the implementation of the dream. And so I believe she educated herself on different pathways. She connected herself to different individuals as it related to the Underground Railroad to assist her and to assist other slaves to find freedom through the Underground Railroad, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, you got to understand and engulf yourself in opportunities that enhance your knowledge in what you are attempting to pounce. If you are enjoying this conversation so far, please drop me some love in the comment section. Those that are viewing me Facebook Live, once again, this is Pounce Talk Live. My name is Montez Sorrells, and I am the Pounce Coach. Those that want to join in the conversation with me and you want to call in, please call us here at the station at 513-792-2894. So we have the first two components, first two dimensions of Pounce. The first dimension is identification. The second dimension is education. Listen, you've got to be willing to embrace a posture. You've got to be willing to embrace a posture of research and education. That may mean going into a classroom. That may mean identifying a mentor. That may mean connecting with individuals that have already done what you're attempting to do. Listen, I am a full endorser of not reinventing the wheel if the wheel does not have to be reinvented. Ladies and gentlemen, a lot of us oftentimes are afraid of collaboration because we're afraid of collaboration because we see, instead of us seeing an opportunity to help and lend a hand, we see competition. Now, we live in a capitalistic society, so I understand that as it relates to business and so forth, but I believe that we can do more together than we can apart, ladies and gentlemen, especially if we're newcomers and we're stepping into an industry or we're stepping into a culture that existed before we came into the inclination of the vision of the personal vision that we have for ourselves. Ladies and gentlemen, when I first launched Pounce, and initially I thought it was just a clothing line. I began to put myself and surround myself around individuals that have already done it before me. Now, that took a level of courage, because a lot of times when you are attempting to pounce if you want to pounce effectively, you've got to divorce fear. You've got to divorce fear. And a lot of times because we're afraid of being rejected by people and individuals, we are very leery, ladies and gentlemen, of connecting with individuals that have already done what we're attempting to do. And so I'm encouraging those individuals, I'm encouraging you guys to really, really embrace, as it relates to the 4 dimensions of Pounce, embrace education from the sense and the standpoint of launching and coming out of your comfort zone and putting yourself in situations that will force you to shake hands with people, to mingle and to network with individuals that have already done what you've done, ladies and gentlemen. If the wheel has already been invented, don't reinvent it, ladies and gentlemen. Get out there. Get to some networking events. Get to some events. Get your face out there. Shake some hands. Rub some elbows. Get at somebody's table and really talk about and ask and inquire about what you want to know. And because I'm telling you, you've got to, the way you grow a thing is you got to fuel it. You got to fuel it, ladies and gentlemen. One plants, another waters, but I promise you, when you discover this thing, God will bring the increase, ladies and gentlemen. But you got to be willing to put yourself out there. You got to be willing to put yourself out there, ladies and gentlemen. Whoo, this is good. So from a practical sense, what does this look like as it relates to education? What does this look like? This looks like going back to school. We've already mentioned that. This looks like reading books in the area of knowledge and wisdom that you are seeking, ladies and gentlemen. Feed the beast inside of you. Feed the gift. Feed your mindset. You know what I'm saying? You want to get into real estate. Ladies and gentlemen, you're not going to get into real estate just watching HGTV, ladies and gentlemen. That's just a small portion of it. You've got to get yourself out there. You got to feed yourself knowledge. You got to feed yourself wisdom. You know, you got to connect, attend some trainings that will enhance your skill set, network and engage in conversations with others that have already done what you're attempting. Listen, and I've already pointed at this, but I feel like I need to say it again. You've got to come out of your comfort zone. You've got to come out of your comfort zone. If you're going to network and build positive professional relationships effectively and successfully, you've got to come out of your comfort zone. Whatever you do, keep this Proverbs in mind. With all thy getting, get an understanding. With all thy getting, get an understanding. And an understanding cannot be received if you do not seek knowledge and wisdom, ladies and gentlemen. An understanding cannot be received if knowledge and wisdom is not sought after, ladies and gentlemen. So please keep that in mind as it relates to education. Another thing that you can do is you can make a commitment. You need to make a commitment to knowledge and understanding in whatever you are attempting to pursue. You need to make a commitment to knowledge and understanding in whatever you are attempting to do. When you stop learning, you'll stop growing. When you stop learning, you stop growing, ladies and gentlemen. I tell my 2 sons often, all the times, a lot of the emphasis in life is put on, physical strength and getting to the gym and having great muscles and endurance physically. But ladies and gentlemen, if you do not have mental strength, I'm telling you, you have already lost the battle. Why? Because the battlefield is not at the physical, it's in the mental. The battlefield is in the mind, ladies and gentlemen. And so we've got to put it, if not equal, but probably more emphasis on mental and spiritual development and mental and spiritual strength than we do the physical. Because, ladies and gentlemen, the battlefield is in the mind. The battlefield starts in the mind. If you can see it in your mind, if you can self-declare it in your mind, if you can visualize it in your mind, therefore it can become a reality, ladies and gentlemen, because as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. If whatever I think, my thoughts become my words, and my words create my world, ladies and gentlemen. So you have to understand that, because out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So whatever is in you, whatever you're meditating on, whatever you're pondering on, it's going to come out of you, ladies and gentlemen. Education enhances your ability to be successful, and it enhances your ability to pounce successfully. So we have talked about we have identified 2 dimensions of pounce thus far. The first dimension is identification. The second dimension is education. Now let's move forward. So you visualize it. You have caught the vision. You have written the vision. You have, ladies and gentlemen, you have begin to start this process of educating yourself and putting yourself out there and growing in knowledge and growing in understanding of what you're going to accomplish and what you're going to pursue. So then we move into the third dimension of Pounce, which is preparation. So we have identification, education, and then the third dimension being preparation. This is the stage of planning, ladies and gentlemen, because listen, we've got great visionaries out there. Visionaries can cast vision all day, but they need administrative individuals. They need people, workers, and people with great, and they're conscious of processes and procedures and protocol to come alongside of them and to plan, ladies and gentlemen. A man that fails to plan has already failed. An individual that fails to plan has already failed, ladies and gentlemen. So we move from identification to education to preparation. Listen, I have been caught up with so many visions and so many dreams and so many different ideas, and I want to do this and I want to do that, but I've fallen on my face plenty of times because I have failed to plan. I have failed to plan, and most visionaries at times struggle with this because we lack those administrative skills that are necessary in building, ladies and gentlemen. We're building something here. You are building something for your family. You are building something for yourself. And with the build, and when you're building, think about it from an architectural standpoint. You cannot build without a blueprint, ladies and gentlemen. There was no building without a blueprint. There's no building, and all a blueprint simply is a plan. It's a plan, ladies and gentlemen. This is the preparation is the stage and the dimension of Pounce where a plan is put into place. This is where you devise your plan of action. Your plan of action, ladies and gentlemen. This is where you devise, I like to call it, your plan of Pounce. You must become clear about your mission. When you are developing a plan of action, or when you are developing a plan of Pounce, you must become clear about your mission, ladies and gentlemen. You got to become clear. You got to become clear about your mission, ladies and gentlemen. You got to get serious about it. As it relates to your plan of Pounce, you got to structure your organized measures that need to be taken in order to pounce effectively. A plan of Pounce is a structure of your organized measures that are needed to be taken in order to pounce effectively. Ladies and gentlemen, I've already stated it. An individual without a plan has already failed. An individual without a plan has already failed. Let's look at it from an animalistic, practical sense. When a lion or another big cat in the jungle is in the wilderness or in the jungle, and when that cat is going after its prey and it's pouncing its prey, that animal has prepared itself. Thank you, sir. That animal has prepared itself and studied the patterns of its prey and gotten the lay of the land and identified the timing and position that puts it at the best advantage to become victorious. Woo! That deserves 2 Ric Flairs, y'all. Woo! Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, listen. If a lion has to plan on how he's going to attack, you've got a plan on how you're going to attack. Listen, that lion has identified, has studied the patterns of that prey, has studied the patterns of that warhog, has studied the patterns of that antelope, has studied the patterns of that zebra, ladies and gentlemen, has gotten the lay of the land, has gotten different avenues of where to cut off the antelope, different avenues where to cut off the zebra, has gotten the lay of the land, and has identified the timing and the position. Because you understand, this lion, a wise lion just don't go after its prey. Sometimes that lion is laying low, not to be seen, camouflaging within the jungle, watching its prey. And moving closer. Because listen, a lot of times we think that if we're not moving, we're not moving. No. See, there's a process in Pounce that teaches us patience, ladies and gentlemen. You've got to have patience, ladies and gentlemen, because if you move too quick, or if you move too soon, or if you move out of time, or out of timing, you're going to miss out on what you're attempting to capture. So that lion has studied and has practiced perfect timing as it relates to giving that line the best advantage to be victorious. Some of the same, not some, but all of those concepts as it relates to preparation can be applied to our everyday lives, ladies and gentlemen. It can be applied to our everyday lives. Preparation, a plan of Pounce, which is a plan of action, includes you identifying the following components, ladies and gentlemen. What are those components? What will be done and by whom? So you got to identify this. What will be done and by whom? So who's going to do what? Who are you going to share this weight of responsibility? Who's going to share this responsibility? Who's responsible for this portion of the mission? Who's responsible for this plan of action? You got to identify what will be done and by whom, ladies and gentlemen. And then once that is identified, accountability has to be put into place. Accountability has to be put into place. The second thing, as it relates to the plan of Pounce, is when will it be done? That speaks to timing. You have to give yourselves timetables. You got to give yourselves expiration, so to speak, because you've got to be a great steward of your time, ladies and gentlemen. And listen, I think a lot of us are spending too much time on dead things. I think a lot of us are spending too much time on things that are wasting too much of our time. Hello, somebody. And so we got to understand what will be done, by whom, and when will it be done, which speaks to timing, ladies and gentlemen, because we want to be good stewards of our time. Teach us to number our days. Teach us to be recognize what we're doing with our time and how we can utilize our time as best as possible. And then thirdly, what resources are needed and how they will be utilized. Listen, we've got to be good stewards, ladies and gentlemen, of our resources. We cannot be prodigal. Prodigal means wasteful. We cannot be prodigal like the prodigal son. We cannot waste our inheritance. We cannot live a wasteful life, ladies and gentlemen. We cannot live a wasteful life. Our time is detailed. Our time must be given from an investment standpoint, ladies and gentlemen. Our time must be stewarded appropriately, ladies and gentlemen. What resources are needed and how will they be utilized, ladies and gentlemen? Listen, everybody don't deserve our resources. You gotta remember that. You gotta use wisdom on how you invest your time, how you invest your resources. Everybody is not deserving of our resources. So please be wise as it relates to your resources, ladies and gentlemen. These components of preparation need clear, concise answers to move forward, to mobilize and to bring it to motion and to bring you toward purpose, ladies and gentlemen, to bring you towards your goals and your dream. Listen, running your plan by a seasoned or a credible person is a good idea also, ladies and gentlemen. Running your plan by a seasoned or credible person is a great idea, ladies and gentlemen. So again, those that are just joining us, we are knocking out the 4 dimensions of Pounce. The first dimension is identification. Visualizing what you're after, visualizing what you're trying to capture. The second dimension is education. You got to educate yourself on what you're after. You got to put yourself in a position and a posture of receiving knowledge and growing in understanding of what you're trying to accomplish and what you're trying to pounce. And then thirdly, what we're currently discussing is preparation. You have to have a plan of action, which is a plan of Pounce, ladies and gentlemen. If you are still joining me, if you would like to add to the conversation, please call me here live at the studio. Please call the Pounce Coach here at the Studio Tuck Radio here at area code 513-792-2894. Give me a call. Let me know that what we're talking about tonight, what we're discussing tonight is really impacting you, is really improving your life, and is really increasing your understanding of what it means to pounce, ladies and gentlemen. Please call me here. Please call me here live here at the studio, 513-792-2894. Listen, I think it's important for you to run your plan by a seasoned or a credible person because they've been where you're going. They've been where you're going, and so they see things from a different perspective, ladies and gentlemen. So don't be afraid, but be very wise and be very watchful and cautious of who you talk to about what you are pursuing, ladies and gentlemen. Just don't give your dream away to anybody. But I encourage you to talk with somebody that has already done what you're attempting to do, ladies and gentlemen. Mistakes will be made along the way. I cannot bring any more emphasis to that as much as I've already done. Mistakes will be made along the way. That's just an opportunity to reassess and modify where necessary. Listen, mistakes can be utilized as fertilizer. Mistakes can be utilized as the thing that will assist your growth and development, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to have some opportunities of failures, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to have some things that won't go right. You're going to have some things. Listen, I cannot tell you the amount of record companies that passed up on Anita Baker, but she's one of the most world-renowned artists here in the world, ladies and gentlemen. I cannot tell you how many times Benjamin Franklin was told he was foolish. But listen, we have electricity because of Benjamin Franklin, ladies and gentlemen. He has been phenomenal because of that. Ladies and gentlemen, I cannot tell you how many times Martin Luther King Jr. was called a fool for standing up for civil rights and so forth. And mistakes were made along the way. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to pounce, you got to embrace failure at times. You're going to have to learn to embrace failure. But listen, failure is not a person. Failure is a teachable moment. Failure is a teachable moment, ladies and gentlemen. And listen, also, learn from the mistakes of other individuals so you don't make those same mistakes. That takes education. That takes that falls under the dimension of preparation, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, you can't worry about failing. You can't concern yourself about failing, and you can't concern yourself about chances you missed when you don't even try. You've got to try. You have got to try, ladies and gentlemen. You've got to try. You've got to make attempts, ladies and gentlemen. You've got to. So make a declaration for yourself. For the remainder of 2018, we're in the 5th month. 5 is the number of grace. 5 is the number of grace. We're in the 5th month in 2018. Grace is the divine enablement, the divine empowerment to do what you've been called to do and to be what you've been called to be. Shout out to Pastor Benny Flewellen of Overflow Ministries coming to church for that understanding. Grace is the divine empowerment to be what you've been called to be and to do what you've been called to do, ladies and gentlemen. So in 2018, make this declaration. I'm going to try. I'm going to make an attempt. I'm going to try. I'm going to make an attempt, ladies and gentlemen. Please do not waste any more time not trying, but make the conscious effort to try and to make an attempt, ladies and gentlemen. What's on the other side of fear? Opportunity. What's on the other side of fear? Courage. What's on the other side of fear, ladies and gentlemen? Love. Some of you all may have gone through another, a real painful breakup, a real painful divorce. You said, I'll never love again. Ladies and gentlemen, do not limit yourself. Do not limit yourself. Do not allow your history, your pain to keep you in prison to your current situation. There is life after trauma. There is pounce after trauma, ladies and gentlemen. There is pounce after tragedy, ladies and gentlemen. What's on the other side of fear? Open doors. Open doors, ladies and gentlemen. In 2018, make this declaration. I'm going to get on the other side of fear. On the other side of fear, there's opportunity. On the other side of fear, there's courage. On the other side of fear, there's open doors. I'm looking at you, and you're viewing this. Listen, and you've been contemplating trying again. Ladies and gentlemen, I prophesy to you. You got to try again. Because if you don't, then you're going to kill off a generation that is waiting for you to manifest. Do you understand that somebody won't pounce until you make the decision to pounce yourself? There is pounce after failure. There is pounce after circumstance. There is pounce after trial, ladies and gentlemen. You think that lion is just going to quit and not trying to eat and provide for his pride because he missed out on a zebra that one time? Do you think that lion in the jungle is not going to take another opportunity to provide a meal for his family, for his pride, because he missed out on an antelope that one time, or he missed out on an alligator, or he missed out on a hippo or a rhino because he missed out? No, he's got to try again. And I'm encouraging you, you've got to try. You got to try. You can't let fear grip you. You can't let hesitation grip you. Hesitation is an enemy to pounce. Hesitation is an enemy to pouncers, ladies and gentlemen. The moment you hesitate is the moment you miss out. The moment you hesitate is the moment you miss out on your opportunity. I encourage you to try. For the remainder of 2018 and even into 2019, the Pounce Coach approves this message. You've got to try again after mistake, after mistake, after mistake, after mistake. All you need is that one time it works, ladies and gentlemen, and it's going to change your life. I implore you, I encourage you, don't give up. Don't give in, because the last dimension of Pounce is implementation, ladies and gentlemen. We go from identification to education to preparation to implementation, ladies and gentlemen. Implementation is the process of putting a decision or plan into effect and executing it. Ladies and gentlemen, you've got to execute. This is your season of execution. Ladies and gentlemen, a lot of you have been waiting. You've been waiting. I approve this message here at Pounce Talk Live via Tuck Radio. This is your time to implement your plan. Why are you waiting to let that dream, bring that dream into reality? You've been sitting on this thing for years. You've been sitting on this, and I understand the importance of timing. We talked about that as it relates to the dimension of preparation. We talked about timing. But ladies and gentlemen, there are some of you all that are watching me and are listening to me right now, and you've been sitting on stuff that you've been told you need to be doing since 2001, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, it's 2018. Teach us to number our days. We don't have that much time, ladies and gentlemen. You've got to implement the plan. Write the book. Start the business. Start the new relationship. Start the fitness plan. Start the process of becoming a better woman. Start the process of becoming a better parent. Start the process of becoming a better man, ladies and gentlemen, because better starts within, internally. Better first starts internally before you will ever start to see any results externally. It starts within first. Implement the plan, ladies and gentlemen. Start the school. Write the manual, ladies and gentlemen. Start the broadcast. Start the podcast. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to and especially if you have children, this is a part of your legacy, ladies and gentlemen. You owe it to the next generation coming after you. Implementation is the last dimension of Pounce. So we have covered the four dimensions of Pounce. Ladies and gentlemen, anybody that is listening to me via Facebook Live or via Tuck Radio, listen, I will be bringing this out. I will be taking this message on the road, ladies and gentlemen. Book the Pounce Coach for your next event. Book me for your next conference, your next seminar, your next assembly, your next event. Get me in front of some young people. I want to inspire some young people. I want to inspire some young at heart people, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, these are the four dimensions of Pounce. I've seen it work, and it's working. I'm working it myself, and you can work it. The four dimensions of Pounce are identification, education, preparation, and implementation, ladies and gentlemen. And if you put these four dimensions in place, along with some aggressiveness, along with some intentionality, along with some initiative, you're going to capture what you're after, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, I have enjoyed myself tonight. The time is winding down. Ladies and gentlemen, I have enjoyed myself on this broadcast. Those that have watched, those that have joined me via Facebook, we appreciate your support. We appreciate Tuck Radio for allowing such content to reach the airways, both through the internet and social media. We appreciate you. We can be found here every week on Thursdays at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time here at Tuck Radio. Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate all of our sponsors, everyone at Pounce Lifestyle, everyone at Pounce Clothing Company, everyone at Tuck Radio. We appreciate you affording us this opportunity to come before you every week with some great inspiration and motivation that will enhance your life. Listen, I am the Pounce Coach, and I believe it is my personal mission to inspire you, to improve you, and to impact you, ladies and gentlemen. If I've done all three, that's amazing. If I've done one of three, that's also amazing. If I've done two of three, that's amazing. But ladies and gentlemen, I am here to improve you, to impact you, and to inspire you, ladies and gentlemen. Again, please, let's support our very own Cincinnati's own Rojo Productions. Please go get your tickets for the I've Changed stage play. Yours truly here at Tuck Radio, as well as Pounce Lifestyle. We are sponsors and endorsers of this play. Please go get this. Go get your tickets today, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be a phenomenal show. It's going to be a phenomenal show, ladies and gentlemen. It is an awesome storyline. We got some amazing actresses and singers and psalmists, both from the country outside of Ohio and even in here in Ohio. We want to send a shout out to Leandria Johnson. We want to send a shout out to Yo-Yo, Joe Little, David Tolliver, and Kelly Kales. We also want to shout out to our very own Cincinnati's own comedian Big Boo Man. We want to send a shout out to Lamont Hill and everybody else that's in the city of Cincinnati that is supporting and a part of this production. We appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, we got some great things that are coming down the pipe here at Pounce Talk Live. We're going to be dealing with mental health as it is Mental Health Awareness Month. But listen, we want you to stay connected with us. We want you to stay connected with us. You can follow us on Instagram at the Pounce Coach, as well as at Pounce Lifestyle on Instagram, as well as at Montez Sorrells on Facebook. Ladies and gentlemen, please support Tuck Radio. Please, if you have not done so thus far, please go to Tuck Radio on Facebook, like the page, go view us on www.tuckradio.com, download the TuneIn app, look for Tuck Radio on the TuneIn app. That's TuneIn, the TuneIn app, and you can listen to us 24/7, ladies and gentlemen. We playing the best in R&B music and gospel, and we've got great content. Please catch the Relationship Hours on Mondays. Please catch Wind Down Wednesday on Wednesdays, and then catch me here on Thursdays for Pounce Talk Live. Thank you for joining me again for another edition of Pounce Talk Live. My name is Montez Sorrells. I am the Pounce Coach, and remember, every day is a Pounce Day. Thank you.